you may feel some anxiety when you have to reach out and communicate with your professor. Especially if you are a first-time college student, it can be pretty intimidating. During this presentation, I'll be giving you a few things to remember while you talk to your professor. Let's get started. Professors are people too. I know back in high school, at least for me, it was very strange to see a teacher outside of the classroom setting because you only see them in that environment, and seeing them outside that environment can feel a little weird. But our professors are people too. They are going through the similar, if not exact same struggle you are going through during this pandemic we are currently experiencing. They are trying to figure out how to manage working from home, their kids being taught virtually now, and the constant what-ifs about this pandemic. So if you're scared about being honest with them about a situation because you feel they will judge you, they won't. They will understand, and they want you to be vocal about your problems you are having with the assignments. They are people too, who are trying to figure out this virtual online environment just like you. Talking to you is a part of their job. I know you think that you are bothering them by walking into their office during their office hours or sending them that email, but you are not bothering them. Communicating with you is not only a part of their job, but it helps them teach better as well. Each and every one of you learn different. Some of you grasp material better during one-on-one time either through video call or safely at a distance, and some of you learn better through email or bright-based communication, and that's okay. When you are vocal about what helps you learn best, your professor is going to be more effective because they will teach to how you learn best. They want to see you succeed, not fail. Never feel like you are bothering them by sending that email or seeing them during office hours from a safe distance. They have those office hours and emails for a reason. Make sure to check your syllabus for how your professor prefers you reach out. Most professors state in the syllabus or in their class what their preference for how they want you to get in touch with them is. Some professors are happy to receive emails, but some professors, if they cannot answer your question within a few minutes, they prefer you either ask them in class or if they have an office phone, call them through their office phone. As always, you can always ask your professor how they would prefer you reach out if it is not stated in the syllabus, but always check the syllabus first. If you're struggling, be vocal. If you find yourself not understanding an assignment or struggling to complete an assignment, be vocal with your professor about this. They are not mind readers, and they cannot tell if you are struggling with an assignment or having struggles to complete it. If you are vocal with them about this, they will work with you. They do not want you to fail. They won't realize what's going on until you tell them. So if you are struggling, be vocal. Be proactive. Do not wait until the day or night before a paper is due to email your professor with questions. If you have a difficult assignment, ask questions about it as soon as you can. It will save you time and trouble down the road. Say you know you have 3 finals on the same day that your final paper is due. Ask for an extension as soon as possible. Professors hardly grant extensions right before a deadline unless you have an extenuating circumstance. If you ask them early, this shows them that you are being proactive and not waiting until the last minute. This applies the same if you know you are going to miss a class. Letting them know ahead of time and asking them how you can make up the material you are going to miss makes all the difference than not telling them. So be proactive and don't wait until the last minute. Be open with your professor about anything that may affect your performance in the class. Everyone has a life and things come up. It happens. But just because your problem isn't academic in nature, that does not mean you shouldn't tell your professor about it. If it's going to affect your participation in the class, you need to be vocal and open with your professor about it. That way, you can work with your professor on if you can complete the homework ahead of time or work out something else. You don't need to disclose your entire life story to them, only share enough of what you're comfortable to share with your professor. The professor may check in on you and refer you to a helpful organization or office on campus. The professor, from an academic perspective, will understand you're off your game and either grant you an extension or allow you to complete the work sooner. Be open with them if you have something that is going to affect your academic participation. Use proper grammar. Just because you aren't physically in class does not mean you don't need to have the same etiquette when you are emailing your professor. When you send an email to your professor, you should always start with hello or dear professor and then their name. You do not demand your request. For example, you say, I'm unable to make your office hours on Monday, and I was wondering if you'd be able to meet another time. and give them options. Give them different times that work for you. That way, if one time doesn't work, maybe another one will. And always thank your professor at the end of your email and end it with your name. Before you hit that send button, make sure you proofread your email and make sure there's no typos or no text message lingo. If you can easily find the answer, don't ask your professor. Professors get dozens of emails each semester asking questions from students that they could find if they only look through the syllabus or course content. So before you rush to ask your professor that question, try and find it for yourself or ask your classmates first before you go straight to your professor. If you can find the answer another way, do that first and use asking your professor as a worst case scenario kind of deal. Accept responsibility. In the end, you are the one in charge of your education. You are the one who needs to advocate for yourself and take responsibility for things in your educational career. Professors are more than happy to review any of your assignments for feedback, but you also need to be proactive about this and not wait until the last minute to ask them to review an assignment that's due the next day. Professors are here to help you succeed and guide you through the class during a semester, but ultimately it is you who is responsible for your educational career.